really young.
The All Smiling Faces podcast is now sponsored by Tyre Spot, the Northeast's leading tyre supplier with branches across the region. Tyre Spot don't just do tyres, they cover everything from servicing to wheel alignment. They can handle every aspect of your car's maintenance. For more information, visit tyrespot.co.uk. Enjoy the episode. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Always Smiling Faces podcast on the GallowgateShots YouTube channel. We are here. It's a spontaneous Sunday afternoon record with myself and Deka. The reason we are doing this is two reasons. One is because we cannot get enough of Newcastle United. We love the tune. And secondly, we have, after the audio issues that we had last week and previously, we have invested in a new mixer. So we thought, why not come to the studio and test it? Test Deka
sneeze all over.
The Deka snots all over it.
Yeah.
But yes, so we're not going to go long this afternoon, probably about 20, 25 minutes there. If the audio is dropping at any point, let us know. If it could be improved at any point, let us know. Now is the time that we can fix this as well. But if it sounds mint, perfect, let us know. But yes, we are going to talk about Newcastle United. That's a huge week for the club coming up. Obviously, all eyes are on the cup final on Sunday, but we do have a massive game against West Ham coming up on Monday evening. A lot of questions and opinions whether Eddie Howe should start the strongest side available or if he should substitute a few players out and not risk them, i.e. Alexander Isak. What are your thoughts on it? So first of all, what do you think Eddie will do? Then what do you want to happen?
I think he'll go as strong as he can go. So I think you'll see Isak will be on. I'm really interested to see what he does on the left-hand side because I'm in two minds of how I'm going to judge what he does. So I have a feeling I'm going to see the lineup and I might think that's the lineup he believes in and that's what he's going to start in the cup final. Or I could have the opinion of I see it and go, right, so so he's resting XYZ for the final. But I honestly do think he'll go as strong as he can because we need points in the league. We can't afford to be dropping any points in the league, otherwise we're not going to finish in the top five. And it's I mean, Chelsea's won today, or they were winning. Sorry, I may be wrong there, but they were 1-0 last I seen. So I don't think he can rest anybody. But of course, I'm well aware of what's in the back of everyone's minds because it's the same week, right? So
he's obviously he's done his press conference leading up to this game, and he's mentioned player fitness and the players that were missing. Everybody knows the obvious as like we mentioned before. Lascelles obviously still missing. Blah 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 blah. Obviously the biggest news last week after Hall's injury was Botman is going for surgery on his knee. So that's Botman ruled out.
I know it's awful, but is there any relief in you because it's the other knee? Does that make sense? What I'm saying? Because obviously, when I heard he was going for knee surgery, I thought, "Oh my God, if it's the same knee, like
not really, because now he's got 2 foot.
Well, now he's got 2 foot knee. Yeah, no, I know that's So it's like, it's that's all full of stuff. Like, but because I did when I read that, I thought, oh, like if it's the same knee, that could be career done. Like to have 2 major surgeries on one knee. But to your point, I mean, no surgery is good. Right, I'd get that out there. It's very disappointing from them, isn't it? Having that setback.
He had a couple of bite-backs on Instagram as well, didn't he? It was Jody Joshua, I think it was, that put on that rumours of Botman being out for the season. Basically just rehashing everything that we'd already seen on social media. But Botman bit back at that, saying, stop talking bullshit, or something similar to that. I think people are jumping on that a little bit. I think what Botman is referring to is the comment was, is Botman injury prone? I think that's probably the sentence that Botman hasn't agreed with and bit at.
I thought it might. I read it more that the guy had said, "You're out for the season," whereas they're saying he could be. Well, actually, it's 8 weeks, which is.
Well, Eddie said that he could make it before the end of the season.
Yeah, so maybe
he could do.
I don't know if there's any point. Like,
is he injury prone then? Because right now, I don't think there's a question about it. Because that's too. Yes, he's injury to his ACL, wasn't it? Wasn't trying your hardest.
Trying my hardest. I'm trying my hardest. Yeah.
Sorry, everybody watching the Man U Arsenal.
That was a great finish. No, injury prone. So it's a fun. No, I'm going to say no. But
on what evidence?
I'm trying to find it. I'm thinking of my back catalogue, yeah. So, like, when you think of Wilson, you think, but it's because his career has been longer, right? So you feel Wilson's injury prone because he gets injured. He's been injured 20
Constantly,
times.
Yeah.
Whereas Botman's been, like, when he first, I have to say, I don't know what his injury record was like before we signed him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to suggest that it was good. I'm going to suggest that. Then obviously you got one major one, right, which was the one that's kept him out for ages.
It's a small sample size at Newcastle United, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So it's,
because of that ACL injury,
I think it's you're borderline, and yes, you're on borderline now that he is. And my worry is that when he comes back, we worried the first time, didn't we? I said, will he be the same player? Clearly not. I think he's only played 5 games. I think I was reading. I really do worry that he's not going to come back the same player. Like, and technology is a lot better now. Surgery is a lot better than what it used to be and things. But at the top level as well, we've seen it with Lejeune. When Lejeune started getting banged up, he came back and just unfortunately couldn't find it.
Yeah, well, already his legs were about to explode whilst he was running, weren't they?
And he was such a player as well.
Yeah, he was a great player. You're right though. He never looked the same. And we said this obviously. You just mentioned we said it when Botman was coming back from this injury, and apparently this one, Liam Knowles comments in saying fluid drained from the knee. That's mainly what the surgery is. I'm guessing, which isn't a huge deal, but it's going to come out for a canny length of time, and you just never know what players are going to come back from that. But moving on to the players that Eddie Howe said are available, Alexander Isak is one because people were worried. Obviously, the rumours the news that we had from Hall being injured to Botman being out, then that quickly turned to Isak isn't fit either, and everybody starts shitting a brick at that point, thinking chances are completely gone now for that cup final. But Eddie came out, he said he is fit, he's ready to go, raring to go for the cup final as well. Does he risk him, Deka? Because I think if Alexander Isak is not 100% fit, you do not risk him.
I definitely agree there. There were edging towards saying it was fatigue, right, rather than an actual injury. That from what
which you could understand because he's played a lot of games.
So if he was withdrawn for fatigue and just needed, just wasn't able to finish the game, then that's fine. I'm in two minds with it because part of us is saying, don't even dare play him and see you at the final. But I'll go back to me thing about we need points, we need to get wins in the league. And what I'd also say as well, sometimes like by resting, you want players. If he plays tomorrow night and scores 2 goals, he is in red hot, confident form going into Sunday. Like sometimes playing and getting minutes in your legs is better. But I appreciate the argument that people want rest and don't want him to get hurt, etc. But to your point, if he has been carrying some kind of knock and Eddie's just played it as fatigue, you can't risk him if that is true. Like really, if I'm honest, he has to be 100%. Like
I think if I'm going to put my neck on the line now, I think we'll go with Wilson starting. But then you're arguing once again, can Wilson last a full 90 minutes? Then if not, what do you do at that point?
Probably Asula, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe Asula. If not, Wilson's got a cracking record against West Ham.
Both of them do.
I wouldn't have any problems with that. And the reason why I wouldn't is because we've got the final coming. So if the final wasn't there and Isak didn't play, I'd be like, oh, come on, because we need to win. But I would understand it.
I just think I'm willing to take the hit on this one and Isak not play.
Well, I think everyone will be on eggshells if Isak's starting. I will say that. I think everyone will be watching at home going, bloody hell. Anytime he hits the deck, any tackle that goes in, you'll be nervous, which I can understand, of course.
And players as well. Like, how do you think players will approach this one? Like, these players aren't used to being in cup finals. Yes, obviously, we did it a couple of years ago. And we saw Gordon shit his pants just a couple of weeks ago and getting sent off, which I'm still not over yet. Do you think, in fact, we've been quite critical of players this season backing out with 50-50 challenges as well. Do you think it's going to be even more so?
Well, I thought, I don't know if it was because maybe Gordon had been sent off, but I was noticing people jump out with challenges in the Brighton game. And I thought, my immediate reaction was, hang on, are these thinking of the final? But then I thought, actually, well, Gordon had been sent off. So maybe they've been extra careful, which I suppose I can get it. I think it would be very naive to suggest that the players don't have an eye on it. Like, how can you not? You're in the same week. You're in the same week as a final. Like, you've got to.
It's like 6 days away from Monday,
and that's got to play a part in your performance, in your application. I think to it, like, you're going in for a 50-50, you're sprinting for that ball. Some of it's second nature because you're in the moment, but I do think there has to be, no matter how many times Howe bangs the drum tonight. What's important is the West Ham game. He will also know some of the players. Certainly the players that know they'll definitely be starting. Because, I mean, we might go through the team, but, you know, if you, for example, Burn and Shea they'll be playing, right? So them know for a fact them will be playing in the final.
But you don't have any other option.
No, we don't, exactly, other than Kraft playing out of position or something daft like that, you know.
So if we're looking at I might actually, to be fair, I might do a predicted start 11. Okay, but if we're going to go through today, as in picking our team against West Ham, okay, we're not going to focus on the Liverpool game because we've got plenty of stuff coming this week, for the fixture on Sunday. But if we go through a starting 11, I think you're going to have Pope back in goal. I'll be very shocked to see Dubravka for a Premier League game because of obviously what we've seen happen over the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
So I think you'll go Pope in goal. Right. I'm not saying I agree with that, but I think that's what Eddie will go with. I think we're going to see the same back line as what we did against Brighton.
Tino.
Will be Tino on the left, Trips on the right, Burn and Fabian in the middle. When it comes to midfield, I'm very similar to you, Dek. I'm not sure if he's going to go straight in with the similar sort of midfield he's going to play against Liverpool in the cup final, or if he'll just try and keep them second guessing going into that as well. To be fair, I don't think Liverpool are really going to be focused on, Newcastle are going to play this way. They'll just play their own game.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it really changes from what we're going to do. It's just whether or not you experience something new, or if it's just like for like with Gordon out and somebody like Barnes going in, or if we'll go back to the combination that we're seeing with Willock and Joe Linton on that left-hand side. But I think he'll stick with the formation we're used to. So I think it'll be Tonali, Bruno, Joe Linton, Barnes on the left, Murphy on the right. But I think it'll be Wilson up top.
I think, midfield, I agree the formation is going to be exactly the same. So that's not going to change. It's not going to be a change in formation or anything. I think the Joe Linton situation, I know some people's going to, because if he gets booked, he'll miss the next 2 matches, but that's not Carabao related. So don't panic if he gets booked. 2 Premier League games. So don't get worried if you see him get booked. I think he'll play that. What I would do, and I think it's Barnes that you need to get a hold of and say, this is your opportunity here. I'm gonna start you tomorrow. Go and make that position yours, and you'll see you in the final. And if Barnes can put in a good performance here, because if he doesn't, then that's when you might start seeing Willock out left and interchanging, blah, 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 blah. And I don't think Willock's been in the best of form either.
Hot and cold.
He's really hot and cold. Yeah. So it could be a case of you could treat it like almost like a dress rehearsal of what his thoughts are for Sunday, you know.
And hopefully gain momentum with that team going into that cup final. Yeah,
that I always say momentum is so important in football. Because likewise, if you go with your mindset of this is the team that'll start Sunday, and that, let's say they're absolutely dross, let's say they were, all of a sudden, how will be second guessing for the rest of the week, right? Going, should I play Barnes? Yeah, whatever, you know. I think you're probably right. And I would maybe say the only ones I would say is maybe Wilson and Isak could be the opposite way, but ultimately I'm fine with that either. I probably would prefer Wilson just for the sheer fact of keeping Isak fit, like just nice and calm and in cotton wool. Do you know what I mean? I'd probably rather that, but
that's my worry. That's my worry, because I think, I know I said I wasn't going to focus too much on the cup final, but it just comes in the same conversation. It comes in like we're struggling to do it, so the players are going to be doing exactly the same as what we are. It's if something happens to Isak on Monday night, that's what worries me. That because I think we're all in a similar position. Saying yes, it is a cup final. Anything can happen in a cup final, but the odds are against us right now because of what's happened in the last week just last week really. If something happens to Isak and he's out of that as well, that's all hope's gone really. Because I think a lot of fans, and probably I'm to blame on this as well, and I'm probably pinning too much hope on Alexander Isak as well, kind of winning that game for us. If he's on fire come Sunday, then we've got an absolute chance. Of course we do. But once again, West Ham coming up, do you risk him with that threat of him possibly picking up an injury. But can you look at that in football? Can you physically, as a manager like Eddie Howe, can you look at a game and say, "Oh, I can't risk him in case he misses this game"? Can you do that? You can't, can you?
No, you can't. And the thing is, you could if you were lying 10th in the league. If you were 10th in the league now, I don't think you'd see a single first teamer. Oh no, what a towel. I think you would see everyone be rested, but because we need the points, because it's so important for Champions League football, I think he has to play everyone. Now, again, as I mentioned before, there's two ways to look at that. Isak one, you play him, he scores 2 goals, and he looks the greatest of all time. Everyone will be sitting here tomorrow night going, how much confidence is he going into Sunday? Of course, you've got the other side where it pulls army. Yeah. And you know what I mean? And then he's out for...
Scott's coming in saying, we are 9th.
Well,
yeah, I think what Deka's trying to refer to is a typical Premier League season where you just sat in mid-table with nothing really to play for at that point. You can't get relegated. You can't go anywhere else. Yeah. But the Premier League table at this point is absolutely on its it's all out of the shop. It's absolutely mental. So 9th can still get Champions League football the way things are going at the minute. It's just like there's comments as well. One from Callum Lewis that says Isak will want to play tomorrow to keep himself sharp. Blue Rhythm Boy says, play the team that will start the final tomorrow. Get them gelling and learn about changes that are going to be needed in advance. Liam Knowles says, at home, you would play Isak, but away, you play Wilson.
Good shout.
Which is a great shout as well. Yeah. I think I probably agree with that as well.
So the rationale behind that is because home would be deemed easier? And maybe being away from home is harder.
You probably expect them to have control of the game at home.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe. Right. I think what we need to discuss as well is impact from the bench that we can have. It's very minimal right now, isn't it? Like our starting 11 seems to kind of just it picks itself really.
Yeah, I think if Isak does start the game, I think you'd be hoping he gets an hour and then he's off, and then Wilson carries over the next half an hour.
Not what Eddie normally does when we're 3-0 up and you just can't crack on, mate. Just have another 20 minutes.
And I feel as if that has to play in your mind as well about how, right, that like how many games have we seen that where we've been 3 and 4-0 up and he's still got him on the field. I get him off. And he doesn't, so he clearly, it's hard to second guess out because there is part of us does think if people are fit to play, that's the end of it. That's what I think he'll do, but you just don't know.
We will obviously we're not finished and we'll go another 5 minutes, but we will be back tomorrow as well. We're doing a live watch along for the West Ham game. So myself, Deka, Bestie and Mark, we're basically flipping the Always Smiling Faces podcast on its head and doing a watch along instead. We will be discussing that West Ham game as it goes, but fine well, most of the talking points are going to be that fixture coming up on Sunday. You just can't avoid it. I was starting this and thinking I'm not going to mention it.
Yeah,
it's not going to mention it.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, something I wanted to reference about Liverpool. I mean, we're all talking about our game, right? On Monday, then we've got PSG coming up.
So you know what I mean? Like, it's a great point because I was watching the game and PSG absolutely dominated that game from start to finish. Liverpool had one shot on target and scored it, which kind of shows you how dangerous Liverpool can be and how defensively solid they can be as well.
Yeah.
Alisson had a fantastic game against PSG. It was unbelievable.
Oh, he's amazing.
But the one thing that I'm hoping and relying on here, PSG going into the second leg 1-0 down. If things don't go their way, I'm hoping they're just going to start going at angles and just kicking the shit out of them. Because we've seen PSG do that before.
Yeah, they're a dirty side. Yeah. They can be, as most foreign teams are, especially when it's not going their way. But that I still think that could play a huge part. Like they could go to extra time. The fatigue of the players. Of course, we're looking at injuries, right? Like, will Salah get hit or something? Yeah, I get that. But they're still playing it. And it's not as if they're like 3 or 4 or 5-0 up, right, where they can just rest everyone. It's 1-0. Like, it's that game is right on the line.
Salah had quite a quiet game as well, didn't he?
Well, to be fair, right, I'm not listen, sometimes I'm not here. Most games when I watch Salah, right, he's hardly in the game. He doesn't touch a ball, man. But then he'll come alive in
Messi-esque that
2 or 3 instances in the game and it changes the game.
Messi does.
Yeah, and that's what I find with Salah most of the times when I watch him. He's not everything goes through him all the time. He's not always on the ball, but when he has 2 to 3 moments in the game, the difference makers, and that's obviously how good he is. But I still think that could play a part. Like I really do. That I know we're playing Monday, and I wish we weren't. I wish we didn't have a game, and we'll just see you on Sunday. But then we've also got a very tough game midweek. And
when do they play? Wednesday, I'm guessing.
Wednesday, yeah. And I'm sure it's Wednesday. Yeah, I'll just check now. But I'm sure it is. That could play a part, you know.
That's all I could think about when I was watching the reverse fixture, PSG, Liverpool, thinking, right, they've got to go down now. This could get nasty.
Oh, sorry, it's Tuesday.
Tuesday night. Sorry, yeah, Tuesday night. Although it could get nasty.
Yeah. And that, you know what it is, that's what I've thought this a few times, you know, when you because hopefully that's for the club that we want to aspire to be, right, and become that. When it gets to the business end of the season, like, you know, you've got games like that in the Champions League, you've got finals on the weekend, like the games are so thick and fast, and every game's so important. It's incredibly difficult, I think. That's when your squad's got to be, it's got to be complete, right? It's got to be a big squad, otherwise you'll get found out. Like, but let's hope let's hope we get through tomorrow. Even though this little preview chat was meant to be all about West Ham, and we have actually just leaned massively towards Sunday. But
Scott said so that there is a preview out for the West Ham game, and Scott said we struggled on the preview as well. I think it was Andy at one point just started talking about the Liverpool game. Yeah. But do you know what it is? As a fan base, it's on the tip of everybody's tongue. Of course it is. Being at work last week, and all you're getting asked about is the cup final, like, and stuff like that. Completely. I'm the same as you, Dick. I wish that the match had been at the weekend and it was gone. It was already done. Yeah. Already done. So we're going to go into Monday, a fresh new week, just going, right, we've now got the cup final to prepare for. But no, we've had another fucking game hiding on Monday.
I mean, if we win tomorrow, we'll go back up to 5th, right? Level on points with Man City, because them got beat off Forest.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean by it's a huge game tomorrow night, man. It's absolutely massive, like in a week where it's not the most important game, it's still a massive game, you know. And it would be fantastic, right, if Isak didn't have to kick a ball and we're 1-2-0 and Isak hasn't got to play. That'd just be a dream, that if we can get the 3 points and not come out of it safe as houses, the lads can go home, put their feet up and watch Liverpool get kicked all over on Tuesday, and then roll on Sunday. There you go. I'm back to talking about Sunday again.
So if you want more talk about the Newcastle versus a Liverpool game, join in our watch along against West Ham tomorrow. Because we're going to be doing that as well. Like I said, it's a huge week. It really is. I don't think we can even put into words how big of a week it is for the Champions League push and obviously the cup final. I think a lot of people have been given a bit of a blow when it comes to the cup final, but honestly, there's still every chance, of course. There's still a chance going into that one. But let's get Monday sorted straight away, because it's huge for that push, like I've just said, for the European campaign. It's such as do you know what it is? I said at the very start of the season, if we didn't get European football, it would be a bit of a failure this season, because of other teams and the fact that we didn't have European football at that time to.
Yes, I remember.
So come on, we're looking at the European football now. We're looking at it's so open.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still that way of thinking. Like, I'm still thinking that, because that place is for somebody to own right now.
Yeah.
Just to say that's ours.
No, I agree. It is, and it's. I mean, there's 9 teams or so in the league, right? That are all, you know, so fighting for Champions League, Europa League, etc. It's so close, like. And I just don't want us to be the ones that fall behind. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I think I'm going to do what I haven't done for this entire podcast.
Talk about Liverpool.
We'll think about tomorrow. Let's just forget about Sunday. Let's focus on tomorrow. Let's try and get. I think we can beat them. Listen, we can beat them.
Of course we can.
We can beat them. I think was West Ham's. I don't know what their last result was. I know they beat Arsenal the week before that.
So Potter's game in has been. I think they've been up and down.
They have. They've been up. They have. They've still got some danger. I mean, Bourne. I'm a huge fan of Bourne. He can destroy anyone on his day. Him, like. But we'll see. We'll see. I just hope the application's there, even though they've got the final in the mind. But we're getting pizza tomorrow.
Yes, we are.
We are good.
Yeah. West Ham beat Leicester. That's the game. Everybody beats Leicester.
Yeah, everyone beats Leicester. Yeah.
That's in.
Hang on, that is one of the best I've seen.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate.
Once again, we are watching the
what a save,
Man U Arsenal. So apology for that one. But yeah, we are getting pizzas tomorrow. Lovely. We shall get pizzas.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Great.
There was a comment about that from Liam as well, saying, "What's the food of choice tomorrow?" It's always pizza.
Yeah.
It's always pizza.
We're gonna get one of them massive ones again. You know,
we could get a massive one, but it was an absolute fucking cloud on, wasn't it?
It was a cloud. Like.
But to get an extra table.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. I put it here, didn't we?
Yeah. So we'll not get a massive one. It's too much effort. I didn't put the back seats down in the car.
The ones we got the last time were nice. Remember we got ones before?
Mr. Chips.
Mr. Chips.
Yeah,
That
I've got a
was
story
nice.
about Mr. Chips.
Have you gone
Yeah, sorry everybody, this is not football related. So Mr. Chips, the last time I went to Mr. Chips, I ordered it on Just Eat, and there was an offer with Mr. Chips, where it was buy one get one free, like similar to what it was last time.
Mhm.
So 2 pizzas, garlic dips, blah blah blah. It worked out about 10, 11 quid, but obviously you're getting 2 pizzas.
That's good.
Ordered it. I got a phone call of Mr. Chips being like, "Oh, the prices on Just Eat were wrong. You need to pay more when you get." I was like, "Hang on a second." I was like, "I've paid for that." I was like, "It's not my fault. Just Eat's wrong." And he was trying to ask us for money when I went to pick it up.
Oh, so how much more did he want as
He
well?
wanted like an extra 4 quid or something.
Yeah, that's not.
And then in the end, when I was like, "No."
Yeah.
Usually, "Oh well, next time that'll be." I was like, "He's probably spat me pizzas, Mr. Chips."
Oh, he might have, like, yeah. So, well, it's ideal to get him to Just Eat, sort it out on that.
Yeah.
It's not your fault. You know what I mean? It's got to get sorted out.
Sorry, everybody.
Imagine that. You're going to buy a telly and you pay for it online. And, oh, no, it's extra 5 quid, mate. Sorry, mate, it was the wrong price. No.
It was wrong on the website.
Suck it. No. Do you know what I mean? No, you're not getting it.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time. Like I said, we are doing a live watch along tomorrow night. We'll be going live, I would imagine, around about 7:30. But keep an eye out on our socials as well. Follow on Instagram. That's where it'll all be publicized as well about what we're doing. But yeah, let us know. Like I said, this was just completely out there, spontaneous. We're in the studio anyway, testing the mixer.
Any audio?
No, so the audio apparently sounds fantastic. So
so
confirm it in the comments. Has the audio been okay? Could we improve it? Is anybody too high? Is anybody too low? Let us know. See that right, man? Lovely. Yeah. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Ta-ra.